What is going on, everyone? We are back in Trey Cash's career in Madden 17. Today we make a big decision. Do we stay or do we go? We have 1 year remaining on our Jets contract, and I posed the question last time, do we leave for free agency demanding our release, or do we stick around with the Jets for 1 more year? Now, looking at this roster, there's just a couple concerns I have. Matt Forte, running back, obviously a big concern. Our running game last year, really in both seasons, has been awful. Alfred Morris did pretty well when Forte was hurt, but because of our inability to control the roster, Matt Forte is the highest rated player, so he will be the starter. And then as far as them making a trade, we have so many halfbacks, I don't know why the Jets would even make a trade, so we're probably stuck with him. And then wide receiver, still a pretty weak position considering the overalls of the guys. I mean, they do pretty well. We do throw the ball quite a bit. But the other big question is the offensive line. The offensive line is not good at all, especially the right side of the line, and they have all these guys locked up, I think, for multiple seasons. So there are some issues with the Jets, but at the same time, if we go to free agency, I don't know who is going to offer us, so you never know. We might end up in a worse situation than we are now. So I left it up to you guys. I put a straw poll out there, took your comments in the last video, and it honestly was just about 50-50. Might have been one vote, one or the other way, swinging it either direction. But because it was so close, I ultimately decided to just think about it and make the best decision as I think it fit for Trey. And we're going to stick it out with the Jets. We're going to stay 1 more season. And really it came down to just not knowing who we were going to get offered. So actually, to play devil's advocate, I went out and I did a test of seeing who we would have got offered if we did leave. And these are the 3 teams. Only 3 offers. It blew my mind that Trey, an 89 overall QB, was only going to get 3 offers. So we have the Browns. We have the Orlando Sentinels, which this is the Chargers. They moved to Orlando, which interesting they moved to Orlando, but they still have Phillip Rivers. And then the 49ers, I maybe would have gone to the Sentinels. I would not have gone to the Browns or the 49ers. It's a bit unfortunate. We only were going to get 3 offers because for how high we're rated. And the other teams I know that needed quarterbacks that we didn't get offers from, it makes me a little bit worried for next season. But you know what? Either way, we're going with the Jets, and now we head into the offseason, and I like what they're doing already. Nikhil Roby-Coleman going to be signed. Brian Cushing, Leo Maxwell, Andre Hall. We got Devin Kennard, a very, very good outside linebacker. Alex Henry. So it looks like we're going to be on our 3rd kicker in 3 years. That's going to be stage 2 on to the next week of free agency. And really, ultimately, all I'm worried about here in this offseason is if they make any big splashes in free agency, which the next one's going to be Zeke Mata, Kevin Minter, but it's going to be the draft. What do they do in the draft? And do they make any sort of move, a trade at all, maybe a wide receiver, possibly a halfback? But moving here now on to the next stage of the offseason, and this time we are going to see a trade coming in. Look at this. They trade for TJ Yeldon. Now we give up a 2nd, a 7th, and Zach Line. Interesting, we give up a fullback to try and get a halfback, but I love this. And at this point, I'm thanking my lucky stars that we decided to stay with the Jets. Yeldon, now with this, we now have a plethora of running backs. You see how many we have. I wish they would in turn maybe use one of those to try and trade for like a lineman or a wide receiver, but I highly doubt the game is going to work in that way. Yeldon looks pretty good. He's not a fast back. He's actually maybe pretty similar to Matt Forte, but obviously a lot younger, has the quick development, so hopefully he will be the answer at halfback. And then we do still have a fullback. We signed Leo Maxwell, who's actually doesn't look like too bad of a fullback. Then we have outside linebacker. Looks like we're going to have a new starter there. We did not have a middle linebacker, so we signed a couple, and it looks like that's going to be Brian Cushing. And then we make some signings at corner. And then there was one other trade here. Amir Abdullah was traded from the Lions to the Eagles for a 2nd and a 6th. So interesting that they're going to get rid of him because he was a pretty big part of their offense. But next up now is going to be the draft. We have a 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. No 2nd rounder and no 7th rounder. And what we're paying attention to here is what we do with our 1st and 3rd round picks. We need to make some smart picks. Last year we took a wide receiver in the 1st round. That was Spires. He actually was not that good of overall. I liked him in hindsight, but looking at this here, the Browns go left tackle at number 1, quarterback to the Patriots at number 2, so it looks like we're going to have to deal with another new QB in the division. Bears are going to take a defensive end. The Colts take a middle linebacker. Lions take a defensive end. The Dolphins take a quarterback as well, so it's another new QB in the division. Outside linebacker for the Broncos, Redskins take a wide receiver. Raiders take a tight end. Corner to the Ravens. Strong safety to the Texans. The Buccaneers take an outside linebacker. linebacker, defensive end for the Panthers, middle linebacker for the Vikings, Cardinals take a defensive end, 49ers take a wide receiver, Rams take a corner, Sentinels here are going to take a left guard, Giants will take a QB as well, Titans go corner, Packers will go left guard, Eagles are going to go cornerback, Chiefs will go wide receiver, Jaguars at 24 go with that wide receiver as well, Saints will go defensive end, Falcons go right end, Bengals, go left guard, center to the Bills, and now we pick here 29, and I can only hope for a lineman or a wide receiver, honestly, again, and we go right guard. I like that. I love that pick, actually. It's the right side of the line that is the worst, so right guard is perfect for this offense. And now finishing out the first round, corner to the Cowboys and to the Steelers, a center to the Seahawks, and that is it for the second round. So we will now advance to our next user pick, which is in the third round. So this is that second pick we're really paying attention to. What are we going to do with this one? Please make a good pick. And it's going to be a wide receiver. And there we go. I love it. First two picks, perfect picks. We needed another wide receiver, as I do believe we lost Quincy Enunwa. He did not re-sign with us. So yet another guy, which I really like, Quincy Enunwa, we're going to have to miss out on. Next round in the fourth round, we take another wide receiver. And this one, I'm not a fan of that pick. We did not need to take wide receivers back to back. We go D-tackle in the fifth round, which we did need another D-tackle, so I'm good there. Next up in the sixth round, this will be our final pick. We are going to take... well, at this point, it's probably not going to be anybody super good, but we do take a center. I like that as well. So, not a bad draft. I say it's definitely much better than last year's draft, but now we got to see how are these guys rated. And now it's, man, I hope they're rated well. And look at this. Welch is going to be a 75. I like that. But then the wide receivers are 68, 66. Neither guy with any speed. Yeah, that's disappointing, but 68 isn't horrible. I mean, Spires was a 69. I thought he did pretty well last year. The German guy there, he doesn't look that great really at all. And then the D-tackle is a 60, ouch, and the center is a 68, which is not bad. So, not a crazy draft. I do like that Welch is a 75 because he will probably be able to start either this year. Next year we might not be here, but he might be able to help this year. He's got quick development, which is good. Pass block is only 73, which is a bit disappointing. Prefontaine, which I love this guy's name, 89 speed. 66 route running is not good, but he has 81 catch, 83 catch in traffic, 92 jump. Only 73 spectacular catch, but he looks not too bad. The other guy here, Kenneth Jarman, is going to have 61 route running, 74 spectacular, but he has 84 catch, 88 catch in traffic, and 91 jumping. So actually, maybe these guys not too bad. I'm assuming their awareness is probably pretty low, which is maybe why their overall is so low. And then the center is going to have 76 pass block, which I like. That's pretty good. And then the D-tackle just doesn't really look good at all. I doubt this guy is going to end up making the roster, but not a bad draft from the Jets. I think it definitely could have been a lot better. The Patriots quarterback is an 84 overall, and he has some speed. I think that was at 91 acceleration or 91 agility. Either way, it looks to be a little bit of a scrambler, so we have that to deal with, as he'll most likely be their new starter. And now we move on to the preseason. I am going to treat the preseason a little bit differently this year, just to kind of keep things moving. I'm just going to play through the preseason, and I'll show you a few highlights from that. But next episode, we're going to get right into season number 3 with our week 1 game. And then I will, before that game, show you the moves that the team makes in the preseason, whatever cuts we make, if we make any additional signings. I'll update you on all of that before we get into that first game of the season. So that is the offseason. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the decision. I know some of you are probably going to say you should have left, but hopefully showing you the little other side of the coin thing there, that it might not have really been worth leaving. So I think we made the right decision staying with the Jets. Now we just got to hope that the offensive line somehow improves. I mean, that really killed us last year. We made it pretty far. Maybe we can make it far again, but otherwise, most likely this probably will be our last season in New York. So let's hopefully make it a good one. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like. I would really appreciate it, and subscribe to see any future videos that I make. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.